Hello, friends. Mary here with Boomers Blooming. Hope you had a nice day and hope you got to do some things that you really liked and some things that maybe you had planned. I had a real nice day. I had to straighten out some business over the phone today. And I was on the phone with the customer service rep probably about an hour and a half. No less than an hour and a half. The customer service rep was very nice and he stayed with me, but I had a hard time getting the customer rep to understand what my problem was. Now, it was a simple problem that I have had with them since summer. So it wasn't a very complex problem that I was explaining to him, that I had to contact their customer service probably about 2 or 3 times since that problem, started. But he couldn't seem to kind of understand at first what the problem was. Well, maybe I didn't explain it right, or maybe he just was not listening, or maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I was on the phone about an hour and a half. Now, he eventually solved the problem after we went over it and over it and over it again. And I could tell he was tired because I said to him, don't hang up until I go on my phone and make sure this problem has been resolved. Oh, it's been resolved. I said, but don't you hang up, because if I have to call in, I'm going to get another different customer service rep. That is, if I can get one. Okay, well, I'll hold on. So at the end of an hour and a half, he really did remedy the situation and he straightened it out for me. But by that time, I'm like, most of my morning is gone trying to fix this problem, okay? So, hadn't had my coffee, I hadn't had breakfast. I just thought I'll call early before the phones get lit up. Wow. I hate for anything to go wrong in my life where I have to call customer service. And it's like I said, this guy was very nice, and he worked with me until he resolved the issue. The first 2 times I called them, they have these prompts, and my situation didn't fit into any of these prompts they had. So I kept pressing 0 for customer service, and I kept saying customer service. And the line kept hanging up on me. Well, about the 3rd or 4th time I called, I was finally put in queue to talk to the next customer service rep. And so the recording said, would you like to just stay in queue and we give you a call back? I'm like, no. It says, if you don't, just hold on. So I just held on. I didn't want to be in queue. Because guess what? When they finally answered, they said, you are the second in line. So why would I want them to give me a call back? Anyway, about that 3rd or 4th time I got a human voice. And like I say, the problem after an hour and a half was resolved. Now, I'm thankful that the problem was resolved, because it's been an ongoing problem since the summer of this year. And I just didn't know how I was going to get this problem resolved when I sit down and call this morning. So I'm thankful it was resolved. Now, that was the first part of my morning. And then I realized that today is November 4th and it's time to vote. So I'm like, oh, okay. I need to vote today. Now, mind you, I'm only 10 minutes from the house. My voting poll is only 10 minutes from where I live. That's what I'm saying. And I'm thinking, I should have gone to early voting. I wonder if that line's going to be long. I'm already tired and worn out from that call. I bet you anyway that call, I was probably on that phone longer than an hour and a half. But I'll say an hour and a half. But anyway, I'm like, I hope the line is not long up at the voting poll. I hope I can just walk in and vote and come home. Well, that's what I did. I was so happy. People were coming in, but there was really no long line. They were coming in and out. There was really no long line, you know. So I voted, and then, but you know, it's a funny thing that happened to me when I went to vote now. Now this is really funny. You know, I have to think about things that are really funny to take me through the day sometimes. When I went to vote at my voting precinct, there was this older guy and lady standing at the door, you know, to direct you where to go. And so the guy said to me, "So I see you've been to Ruby Falls." And I'm like, he doesn't know me. How does he know I've been to Ruby Falls? And he said, "And I've been to Ruby Falls too, lady." And I'm like, this is the first time I've seen him. He doesn't know me. How does he know I have been to Ruby Falls? And so I had this puzzled look on my face. And so I thought, oh, I did go to Ruby Falls this year in the summertime. And my friend bought me a skull cap. And on that skull cap, right here, it says, "Biggest Day, Ruby Falls." And so I looked at him and I said, oh, I didn't, oh, excuse me. I said, oh, I forgot I had that Ruby Falls skull cap on. That's how you know I've been to Ruby Falls. I said, you know, he said, I realized I saw that puzzled look on your face. You had no idea how I knew you had been to Ruby Falls. You was looking at me so straight. I said, yeah, I was looking at you like, wait a minute. But I forgot I had that skull cap on my head that had Ruby Falls. I said, oh, please forgive me. I've had somewhat of a stressful morning. And at this time, I'm just not really on the train. I'm not really with it. So we had a great laugh, and I went on and voted. And then I stopped by. I like to go to Zaxby's a lot. I like their chicken. And so I should have been getting a salad, really, is what I should have been getting from Zaxby's. But I wanted their, you know, they got these, what they call them, new on the menu, lemon pepper wings. I haven't eaten them because I was snacking ever since I got off the phone. But I'm going to see how these new lemon pepper wings taste because I have them. You know, they come with coleslaw and french fries. Now, I don't need all of that. I already know it. So I'm going to try to be disciplined. I'm going to try to eat some tonight and save the rest for tomorrow. So, may look a little tired, friends, because I am. I am a little tired. And so, but it's all good. It's all good. But anyway, like I said, what are your plans for the holidays? Are you going to visit by airplane? Are you going to visit by car? Or are you going to sit this holiday out at home? Which I'm really thinking about doing. Because if this situation gets much worse, I don't want to get in the air. I just don't. You know, my heart goes out to these TSA agents and these air traffic controllers, what must they be thinking, having missed a paycheck? The morale, I would think, has to be pretty bad, I would think. The morale, how people are feeling on their jobs, being forced to work without any paychecks. Can't be a good feeling, as they sit there and do those jobs. Wow. And then some of these air traffic controllers, they are taking on extra jobs when they get off that job. And they're taking on extra jobs to help feed the family and pay bills. Well, if they're working as air traffic controllers and then they're taking on extra jobs, when are they really resting so they can be sharp for that job, air traffic controller? That's a very serious, important job that requires rest, awareness, and attention to detail. And I'm not saying they're not doing that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what a job like that I feel requires rest, awareness, being very attentive. And when you work in that job and another job just trying to make ends meet because you're not getting paid on one of those jobs, how much rest can you be getting? This is a situation, and I hope it's resolved very soon, because the effect of it ripples throughout so many areas of our life in America. It just doesn't stop or start with air traffic controllers. It goes all over. It has like I said, it has a ripple effect into the lives of so many people. So, since I've had my laugh, because when I get through talking to you friends, I'm going to take this scarf off and go and get into something comfortable, and I am going to bed. And I know it's early. It's not even 9 o'clock. But I feel like it's 10. Since we had the time change, the time change rolled back, If it's 7 o'clock, last week it was 8 o'clock. So, let's see, what time is it? Well, it's around 8 o'clock here. So really last week it was 9 o'clock. I don't know if you guys who have this, fall forward, fall back, spring forward type thing, spring forward, fall back when they change the time. Does it affect you? Can you feel that hour? I remember when I was working, I loved when we lost the hour, but I hated when we gained an hour. And every year when this happens, I remember how I felt. Because there was no adjustment in pay, because if you lost the hour, eventually you was going to gain that hour. So they didn't make any adjustments, So I think I'm affected by that hour, though. I think I'm getting sleepier earlier. Oh, friends, I just needed to talk to you guys and have a laugh. It's been a stressful day. Yes, it has. Can you imagine being on the phone an hour and a half with a customer service rep? He was probably worn out too. And he probably said to himself, I hope I never get this lady on the phone again. I was so glad he didn't hang up, because some of them will hang up. I've had them to hang up on me, especially if it's a problem that they can't resolve in 5 minutes. They'll hang up. Oh, so put down there in the comments what you're going to do for the holidays. I think a lot of people are going to stay home. But I could be wrong. That's just what I think. So, if you like my content, give me a thumbs up, please. If you want to ride this train with me, sometimes serious, sometimes funny, sometimes hilarious, this train called life. If you want to join me, give me a subscription. Please subscribe to my channel, Boomers Blooming, my YouTube channel, Boomers Blooming. I would appreciate it. And so, until I post again, or until I recover from this stressful day, let me just put it like that. Until I recover. When I recover, I will see you again. And like I say, if you subscribe, you will see when I recover. You know, it's one thing about me when I'm a funny person anyway. I have that kind of personality. But when I get tired, I think I even get funnier. Oh, God. So, you all have a good night, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you view this video. Come on, laugh with me. We're going to have to laugh about some of this stuff. I know it's hard now. I know it's hard to find humor in it. But I think in order to survive, we're going to have to find some humor somewhere. You know, somewhere we're going to have to laugh, find humor. Oh, so anyway, you guys, I love you guys. And I will talk to you later.